I know. I hope you're all sitting down. I hope you're all sitting down. You aren't in the middle of, maybe driving a vehicle or something, because I don't want you to be too shocked by the fact that, yes, in fact, we are both here. It's not Wednesday. So again, like, we're 80%, but like, we are both here. It is Prep Talk Live at 5:30-ish. Close. We were close. We had to do our quick prep talk before Prep Talk Live, which took all of 3 minutes, maybe. But, that's the amount of preparation that goes into these shows usually, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Prep Talk Live. For everybody who forgot why you were here or what's going on, I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as usual, it's been a bit, but, hey, here we are, is Tup the Urban Tup. Tup the Urban Tupper.
The Urban Tupper is here.
That's where we're at. I couldn't find we're here, though. Tup the Urban Tupper. Tup, what is up? How are you?
It's been a busy, crazy summer. A lot of stuff going on with the kids and with work stuff and extracurricular things. It's just been August in particular. Actually, the whole summer has been crazy. But we're getting ready to start back up school again, and the kids are. I don't know if they're looking forward to it, but I think we are, because they'll have some entertainment throughout the day for educational entertainment. But yeah, all in all, things are going pretty well.
I feel like we said at the beginning of the summer, hey, just giving everybody a heads up, this may be a little rough. Like, we may adjust days.
Be a little rough.
And then I feel like we was like, those little things at the playgrounds where they spin around and there's one kid that like runs and runs and runs on the outside. And
those things are dangerous.
Hold on. And then like they fly off and get concussions.
Those are the 80s toys, like the
exactly. I feel like we got on that, and then it was just like, okay, all bets are off. We'll see everyone at some point.
We knew our primary responsibility was to get Chuck and Pony Girl and Pig Slide reconnected, because it's been a little.
It has been a little daunting for them not having the chat room.
Yeah, this is kind of their entertainment. We provide the entertainment as they're chatting, and then we also talk about prep stuff. And so
exactly, we're like, oh, what are you guys chatting about? Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. Really, like, the whole appeal of this show, I think, is coming in to be part of the chat room while it's happening, and then us just kind of commentating.
We're the eye candy. We're kind of eye candy for.
Yeah, exactly. We just facilitate it. We're like the hotel ballroom that everyone comes to have the convention in and says, "Oh, look at the lovely fountain on the outside." I feel like that's where we're at. Well, hey, we're here. So let's. I don't know if we should talk about kind of like, okay, what's been going on this summer? You've had your adventures. You went on a bunch of trips. Yeah. We haven't heard about that. There was a bunch of people said in the comments that they want more gear things. So I'm thinking maybe the next couple of times, I will let everyone know. It's been a while
since we've had like a show and tell type thing, hasn't it?
We haven't had a show, let alone a show and tell.
Yes.
I will say that Tup and I did talk last week. We checked calendars for the next, I think, month and a half or so.
I think we got the next month and a half in the books.
Yes, and we have dates. So I will be actually posting those show times here. I was hoping to do it like early this week, to be honest, and then it was a thing. So anyway, so it'll get up there, but we do have times at least every week for the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. Most of them are going to be, I think, Tuesdays or Thursdays. We won't be able to do Wednesdays for a little while, but we're going to kind of bounce around. But we're going to try to get at least one show in a week. And then we might do some supplemental shows just to try to kind of get some more information out as we're making things happen. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Great. We got Amy Fresh in the audience now, so things are starting to line up already.
Okay, all right. That is an important. Yes, we have Amy.
I think I keep butt dialing Amy Fresh on TikTok with random videos. So I apologize for that.
I love the random videos that you send me unconsciously on TikTok.
Am I also sending you ones?
You sent me a couple, and I was like,
what is this?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like he maybe sent this with a message. I don't know.
No, it's not just you. It's Amy. I guess I need to check my set messages now. But I know Casual Preppers podcast. I think I've sent them numerous ones on
Is that why they won't collab with us? Is because it's sending
I
them.
found one on Discount Tires. I don't know how that came out, but sometimes I've been to go to sleep. Sometimes it's you go into the TikToks and I sleep, and then I must be on it, and then like I'm sending people random, who knows what kind of videos on there. So
Yeah. Oh, we've got an older fan of you, a
yeah, the
fan
OG.
from way back. Oh, gee,
Oh,
yeah,
this is from Facebook.
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah. Um,
I
show
don't
and
feel I don't
tell
feel much
or
older. It's
tell
it's
on
not
the show. Yeah.
it's not the
No.
years, it's the miles. Is what Indiana Jones
Hmm.
said. So
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah,
I
Macho
think the
Man.
Macho Man one was the best.
Yeah,
The Macho Man one is always. I mean, you can't really compete with that.
yeah.
It's
There's
just.
yeah, I think I probably sent a Macho Man one, and I sent some advertisements, and then there's always like some political stuff. And if I have sent something to someone, I don't that that's just that's a butt dial. So
Yeah, you keep sending me things about trying to get a hold of me for my car's warranty. It's just a
okay, yeah,
whole thing. Yeah, I'm just but anyway, all right, so
anyway, yeah,
let's catch everyone up on the summer, I think a little bit. I jumped on last week because I felt like um no one was going to believe we were coming back.
yeah.
That they were going to think that we were going the way of the doom zoom and that we had a falling out, that
R.I.P.
the
on that
legal
dude.
teams, could not get on the same page,
Yep.
and we were just over. And I wanted everyone to know that no, that was not the case. That we were just dealing with summer. So I got on. I kind of gave a couple
Okay, good.
updates on me. You, however, I did not have any updates on you. So
Radio
let's
silence.
talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about. You've been traveling. There's been all kinds of things going on.
Yeah, a lot of traveling, a lot of different various appointments and stuff. I've been doing some fine tuning some vehicle preps, I would say, because I was down in your neck of
Mm-hmm.
the woods. I was in Hillsboro last week, and I'm going to be
I
back.
got the report. I got the
Yes,
email from regulations. They
yes.
were like, "Do you
Was it?
approve?" And
Did you,
Bernie and I
we
sent it.
have warning. There's a prepper in your sector.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually going to be back down in your neck of the woods, I think, on Sunday too. So uh, before going on all these kind of road things over the weekend, I had to fine tune some of my vehicle preps and get those all in order. Although we've also been switching cars, and my wife's setup isn't as good as isn't as prepped out as my vehicle has. But all in all, that's been going good. I'm trying to think of like prepping related things that people would be. I'm fine tuning my EDC right now for some. I keep as the years go on, I find like I'm trying to streamline things that have. Again, the dreaded prepper bulge has always been a concern for mine, and I'm constantly trying to like, do I really need to carry this? I'm even questioning my multi-tool lately, and so
Here's what I think, though, because you bring up this pepper bulge a lot. You're
yeah,
like, "Oh,
I'm always
I'm
it's always on the mind. It's always on the mind.
always trying to minimize. I'm always trying to minimize my gigantic pepper bulge. My
Yes,
pepper bulge is so. If only I could control and contain. Oh, woe is me and
yes,
my gigantic, unwieldy pepper bulge. Like,
yes.
it's starting to just feel like you're just bragging at this point.
Well, it
Like
yeah,
you just want us all to look and be like, "Show us the bulge."
yeah. Well, with some of the gear, I like carrying a lot of gear, but then sometimes I don't want to rock the fanny pack at work, and so it's just having to weigh out some options. And I'm also trying to do. I think it's about time for another like EDC backpack update, and so but I'm making some refinements there on what's really needed, and I don't want stuff that's just. Sometimes I add stuff to try out, and it just sits there and collects cobwebs and stuff. And if I'm going to post another video, I want it to be stuff that's actually used and actually warranted. And again, trying to go smaller for a lot of things for that too. So let's see what else has been going on the past few weeks. Man, it's all been kid stuff, so it's not the
Yeah, there's
most
so much.
exciting update. My wife is continuing to drive our the garden, and we have way too many peppers than any human should probably eat. I have some gas mask things that I'm testing lately, which is fun. Yeah, tis the season.
Related to the peppers or
No, just no in relation just to. I have a fascination, I guess, with gas masks. I'm doing some testing of different EDC flashlights to see which. Again, I'm trying to make it a little smaller and a little more because I've been carrying uh, geez, which is the Streamlight one, but it's a little. I want to just get a little smaller too. So anyway,
yeah. I think didn't you have one that was a little like rectangular one from Olight?
Oh yeah, Olight had the Tup one, I think. Or was that Olight
It's
or
like
no?
it's
That's
like
Nightcore. That was
okay, yeah. There's one that I thought you had that was more like rectangular, and it had like either a laser pointer, and it had like a green and red, and it had a light.
yeah.
It was and it was rechargeable.
Yeah, yeah. That one's is that the? No, I'm just facing. No, I'm getting that. Yeah, that's the Olight one. Yeah, I stopped liking that one. Like, do I really need to have a laser pointer on as an EDC item? Uh,
Yeah, it's been
so
all over TikTok.
yeah.
They're doing some sort of sale on TikTok on that one, and I was like,
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
stuff has that light.
Is it let's see. Are we talking this one here? The
Yeah, that
yeah.
one. Yep, exactly.
I stopped EDCing this one. That one, the pocket clip, I feel is too. I like a super deep pocket clip now. That's just my new requirement. So this one's not as deep as what I like. So it's always kind of sticking out of your pocket.
Are we
And
gonna
then,
make a comment about how deep in the pocket you need your pepper
it's,
bowls to be?
well, I need it to be more like,
Come on, softballs here. Softball.
I want that as that's the new standard for me at least. It has to be like that
Really?
deep. Yeah,
Oh, the clip wise. I was
yeah,
like,
the
why
clip
are you
wise.
showing
Yeah,
me? Okay, because that's not a light.
the
So
arc field. Yeah, thank you.
okay, yeah. Um, which knife is that, by the way? Is
Oh,
that a Ben
this is
Bander's one, or
the bug out, the Benchmade bug out, which is it's still my favorite one right now.
I
Uh,
love that it's called the bug out. It's
Yeah,
like
it
let's
has
just
the right
call it what
name.
it is.
It's the right
Yeah,
size. I like that it's blue because people they don't get scared about blue pocket knives as if they do for if it's like a camo or a black one or OD green. They always like, oh no, he's got a knife.
yeah. So speaking of kid stuff,
Yeah.
so do you let me because we live in slightly different areas but
Yes.
similar area of the country. Our schools in our state in Oregon have been going on a bit of a tear on kids and phones in
Hmm.
school.
Yeah.
And as a parent who believes that like I want my kids to focus on everything, I don't hate that idea.
Yeah.
Like let's keep the phones, let's the cyberbullying and all that sort of stuff. I get all of that. I love all of that. Let's clean that up. However, we got the thing that came home from our child's new middle school, and it was talking about the stuff. And one of them is that they have to have their phones away all day, which I was like, okay, that's fine. But they also have backpacks in lockers all day.
Hmm.
Like they don't wander with their backpacks. Whereas like our son is going to high school, we found out they don't even really give out lockers because the kids only really live out of their backpacks.
Yeah.
In this case, they're going to make so a lot of the things that I have built for the kids as emergency kits,
Yeah.
my son will be fine because he'll be able to have it in his. But I'm having a bit of like a parent prepper anxiety attack around like the stuff that I got for emergency stuff that
Yep.
is not going to be available to her during the day. And having to be like, okay, well, there's not really an end around here, so we just got to cross our fingers on this one a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you run into that with the
Yeah. I
schools
think.
in your area?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. My son's my daughter doesn't have a locker, but my son did, and he's going to a different school actually now. But he'll probably have a locker again there too. Yeah, they don't. Previously, like they don't use EDC bags in the same way that we do. They're mainly parked in front of. So I think it's more what can they EDC. But yeah, we have the same kind of rules with the phones. Like they basically put it in like a Faraday box for
Yeah.
like you're not allowed to have it. My son, we recently I got iPhones for the family because I wanted to use the a lot of the family features and stuff like that for it,
Yeah.
and Big Brother tracking. Uh,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and I like the capability, like I like being able to disable his phone whenever I want to as a punishment for
That
not
is
doing something.
fantastic.
And
I,
that's been a nice feature. But
I love that button.
yes, yeah, sometimes I do it just as a prank too. Like when I'll be with some friends. I'm like, hey, watch this, and I'll turn it off, and then he'll come running down. Hey, what's going on? Uh, yeah, but yeah, we have the same issues, and to be honest, he doesn't. My son's not the best with backpack emergency gear or like keeping that up to date or whatever. But he has been EDCing some certain items. Yeah, so I wonder what the best solution for that is. I've been like Apple
I think
AirTag.
therapy.
I've been air tagging everything up for
Yeah.
because I want to know where they're at all times. And if like they can't have their phone, I still want to know. So I've been disassembling all those air tags and removing the speakers out of them and putting them in random different spots and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the for me it was an interesting conversation last night with my wife because we've been generally just nervous about moving from our very small um charter school
Yeah,
to significantly larger neighborhood middle school and gigantic. Our son was in a class. They were ending middle school in the charter school, but they let everyone who wanted to continue. So he was. There were 8 kids in his 8th grade class,
hmm
and he's going to a high school that has 2,500 kids in it. So it's just a massive change. And so we've been a little nervous about just the transition and all of that and getting older and all of this. But I found like when they sent home the thing and they were like, because I've got, ballistic shields
yeah, me
in
too.
both
Yeah,
their backpacks. I've got, gloves and their phones and all of that. And yes, they will be closer to us than they were with the charter school, which is part of why we got the phones in the first place is because they were like a half an hour away. And now they're going to be like 5 minutes away. So they're
hmm
much closer that way. But just, I didn't realize how reassuring I felt having those things there as then when they were taken away. Whereas before, I wouldn't have even really thought about that. It is this interesting, like, prepper viewpoint, I think, that you get where you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now I've got to, like, I don't know that there isn't an end around way to really kind of try to make these things work.
yeah,
Um, so you just got to kind of cross your fingers on that one a little bit.
yeah, totally. I'm keeping an eye on some of the comments and stuff coming there too. Uh, yeah, I wonder if like if the teachers don't know that you have the phone, maybe you could just have it in a little Faraday bag within your backpack. Then,
Yeah. So yeah, do the kids let to keep the bags at the school or the class? Yeah. So they can have a phone at the school and it
yeah,
has to be off and away is what they're.
yes,
So like as long as it's off, then nobody cares. The problem is that that their backpacks have to be in their lockers all day. Like they can go to their locker, at
yeah,
least in the middle school. They can go to their locker during like 3 times during the day to get books and things like that. And so their phone would be there, but they can't keep the phone on them
yeah,
unless they have like a specific medical condition that would require that, which we had kind of some reasons for that to happen in elementary school a little bit, which we had medical records and all that sort of stuff. We're trying not to do that in middle school. We're trying to, not need that. But it's just a weird thing to be like, okay, I've spent all this time trying to think of how to keep my kids safe at school because I'm not sure that the school or anybody there is going to do a great job of it.
hmm
And then find out that the rules have been adjusted so that it's maybe a little bit different.
yeah. I see a few really cool comments in here.
Do your
Yeah,
kids mind the prepper stuff, or do they
they,
think it's your thing?
I think they mind it and they think it's my thing, but they, my son and daughter don't have like they don't they're not following the color coordination and they don't have good modules. But my son does like EDCing certain flashlight knife type stuff. He's from the beginning stages of the prepper adventure, I think. But I think he relies on dad prepper. So
Yeah, I think mine enjoy it. They like some of the gear. They don't necessarily understand all of the gear.
yeah,
Um, but they have also both become mindful of some of the things that like dad is looking at, or dad, why does dad, move us around when we're walking in crowds, and why do we
yeah,
wear
that's a good point.
not say certain things in certain room, like um that's a thing that they've picked up on. And my daughter oftentimes talks about the YouTube channel and the
Yeah,
videos and blah blah blah. So she enjoys it for the YouTube piece of it, but also like, she wants to have her first aid kit and she wants to have some of that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, they definitely pick up on some of the situational awareness things. Like when
Hmm.
we go to restaurants, I usually want to sit where I could see the the entryway of what's going on. So, and that now they're starting to realize that they figure out where I'm going to sit based off of that. So they're starting to pick up some of those things. And it's not things that I really teach them at all. But I saw an interesting comment here from what was it, Daniel? Is the prepper movement dead?
Oh,
Did you
wait,
see
what?
that one? Yeah, I don't know if you have
That
ever.
would be unfortunate.
Yeah, the the yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Are we able to look at what? Are we able to go split screen on this and see what people are talking about on YouTube? Or
Oh, you want to go like into like
yeah,
what YouTube stuff is happening?
yeah. Like what are people talking about? Because to be honest, I haven't looked at a lot of the doom zoom type stuff.
Okay, hold on. Let me see
Do
if
I
I
think the prepper movement's dead? I don't. Maybe probably not.
let's see.
Sometimes I feel like it because I've been. I don't know how long you've been doing. Have been considered. Consider yourself a prepper, but I think I started probably when I got married, so I would say about 2010 is when I, officially started to. But
Let's see. So yeah, no,
uh,
I don't know that it's dead. I think what happened was there was a period of time um, where it became super front and center with
yeah,
all of the pandemic stuff and everything else, and then with like civil unrest and all that sort of stuff,
yep,
and a few channels, I think, and we know who they are,
yeah,
who had a sizable audience, I think, similarly to yours, to your size audience. You kind of stuck to what you were doing and actually kind of ratcheted back. I kind of rode the wave a little bit of just getting, a few people interested in what I was doing, and then I ran out of time, and thus Prep Talk Live was born. Um,
yeah,
but I think there were a couple of channels who had big audiences who then rode the wave of fear and have continued to, and they have continued to grow and see that. There are
yeah.
a few channels that that put stuff out. I mean, here's how close are we to World War III? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, DIY Prepper has great videos. I've enjoyed some of their videos, but like this is the sort of stuff that
That's
seems to
kind of
be
where it's going towards. Yeah,
where it's like, okay, this is 40,000 views and it's 300. Sensible Prepper. Okay, like we know he's been around forever.
yeah,
He's got a huge audience. 14,000 views in 2 days for Prepping 101. These videos are coming out still. There are still people who are trying to introduce the prepper thing. Here's City Prepping's over 1 million now.
yeah. It's great.
Which we love that for Chris. How to prepare for extended bugging in situations. That's a great one. So there are more channels that have come up and come on. A lot of them see a lot more traction with the kind of imminent disaster stuff, I think,
Yeah,
than a lot of the like how-to sort of stuff or the kind of almost encyclopedia type content of like, here's how to do this, here's how to do that, that sort of thing.
yeah. I think it's over. I mean, I've noticed different changes in uh where it was high during like financial type financial crash of like or recession type stuff in 08 09, and then during like the Mayan calendar one usually there's a thing there, and then on certain presidential elections. So yeah, you normally see highs and lows that happen
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of prepping content that still is being made available and stuff. I think it's not YouTube specifically. The algorithm pushes based on what you watch, what you're interested in, and what is trending. And so if there's a video that comes out that is, oh my goodness, the world is ending tomorrow, like I get literally Canadian preppers notification that World War III is happening at least 4 other times today. That's going to get a lot of traction. But I think there is still some real. Oh, wait a minute, who is this? Frugal Fit Mom. Oh, this was 2 years ago. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, she's doing Costco runs for prepping things. This
yeah,
is this is our world.
She got 1 million views. Yeah, I find a lot of the stuff is the fear stuff, and then there's a lot of people that are. I don't know. I feel like prepping's kind of like at least the movement. Again, going back to Daniel's original one, the money kind of got involved where people are like trying to sling, the affiliate stuff, and I definitely miss the old days where no one was making affiliate links or any kind of ad money, and it was just pure prepping, and it was pure for like to help spread knowledge and to bounce around ideas and to make kits and show it and get input. Like it was more of like a collaboration thing amongst the community. Now it's more of like a uh, growing channels and making money and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think it's also interesting too with just some of the advances um in video and AI and some of that sort of stuff. I mean, just having like the ease that you can make a video, you can get information out there and make it look reasonably good. Um I think has come a long way too of making it just more accessible to. Here you go. The Business of Fear.
Yep.
The DW documentary, Preppers in the USA, Emergency Life Security, the Business of Fear. I mean, it does seem like that is that ends up happening a lot.
Yeah.
Is that Alaskan Prepper or the that was in this New Yorker thing that was just
That's right. Yeah. That was a while ago though. That was like right before COVID. I thought.
yeah, it's like 5 years. So yeah, so I think oh wait, who's that guy?
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Who's
Oh
this
man.
Yahoo
Oh wow.
with 460,000 views on a video? Look at you go. Oh look, see Dollar Tree.
Yes. That's great to see.
That's $1 million. You know what I love on this is there isn't like I have no illusion that any of my videos will show up on search. I'm like, there is no chance that anything that I put out is going to be ranking above city prepping or any of that sort of stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so there is. I think another thing too, when we're talking about prepping and the prepping movement is it has now also gotten so niche a little bit of it used to be, oh well, we're prepping and what does that mean and everything else, and now it's, are you talking about gardening, are you talking about farming and homesteading,
there's a lot of voices now compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah, are you talking about gear or look at, here's another one of yours.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
look at you and your shopping videos, those are great.
Yeah, I need to do another one.
Yeah, exactly. Some of my best videos were me walking around a shopping thing. Here's Survival Dispatch back when they were they even still doing Survival Dispatch? It seems like that would kind of struck me as like the Doom Zoom too, where it was like there was a group of prepping channels that got together and created this Survival Dispatch channel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think they all kind of either broke apart again or I don't know what happened. And then you're into meal preps and Martha Stewart. So I feel like we've now gone full circle.
So is it dead? No, it's just, I mean, it just constantly changes. Like there's new, I remember there was a time back in like the mid 2010s, I guess, where it was like once like manufacturers realized that, oh, there we go. That's our friend.
Yeah. There's a friendly face right there.
There used to be a lot more reviews, and that's because that's when they originally, we could start giving out flashlights to channels, and they'll show it on the thing, and then we'll get a lot of people buy it. And so then there was a big heavy movement towards that, and the new flashlight every week. And then people, like the channels, eventually got tired of doing that, and then they just changed their mental model and focused on, I think, a lot more long form stuff. Again, we're just talking YouTube, but I think it helps dictate kind of what the prepper movement is too.
Yeah, I think also too, it's interesting. Like I wonder too with some of these channels, like Gilbrook Farm. So I watched them when I first started in my journey. I was watching them. They had started on a little farm and they were kind of building, and then they moved and stuff. That was 7 years ago. So you know, it's also kind of like at a certain point, like we hate to say it, but like we get older.
We're getting old.
Yeah, and so like I mean, we're working through kids and we're working through all these other things. At a certain point, like once you've kind of prepped and everything else, like yeah, making the videos was an interesting thing, but like moving on and doing other things is kind of another thing with just some of these.
Well, I've always told people that I think the best preppers are the ones that you don't even know about. Like they're not out there making videos. They're they're
Yeah,
prepping and they're being low key, gray man. They're building up their supplies, and you would never know it. And I think that's where a lot of and that's the videos that I made, 13 years ago, like I'm in different situations now. I didn't, uh, with like family and kids and stuff. So you kind of have to adapt with that. So I think you see a lot of that. Let's see. Glad you're feeling
yeah.
better. Please come to make some more video. Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So
Anyway,
definitely
long
not.
story short, yeah, not
Oh,
dead,
here we
just
go. How
adapting.
doomsday preppers lie to you.
Yes,
Oh, this is interesting. And
that's
we've
8 days
all
ago.
of the. There's our friend Wrangler Star,
Okay,
Mr. Wrangler Star.
I don't think they would ever call us doomsday preppers though. You
No,
and I, we're the happy preppers.
we are the happy prepper. That is the other thing. If you look at a lot of these
Yes.
videos, like there are definitely themes that you see in these that don't exist in our like. Okay, here you go. That was just that is a video you would never see us make.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing. That it's not our brands.
Yeah.
Um, we don't. Yeah, there's a lot of. I felt like I was going a little dark with that missing background that I made for the video last week, just being like, "Where have
Okay.
you been?" But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes I understand that sometimes with like thumbnails and stuff, you want to if you want to make sure that people, if they don't watch it, like how are they going to get the content? So you can, and now there's so much a flood of different channels and stuff like that. You want them to click on it, but yeah, we should probably it'd be a fun topic to talk a little bit more about, like maybe like the history of YouTube prepping and like the prepper
YouTube.
movement. Uh,
Yeah. All right, I like that idea. I like
yeah,
that. All right,
yeah, Daniel, that was a good question. So
that was a great one. That
yeah,
worked
that
out
was fun.
really, really well. All right, let's see. I feel like I missed a bunch of the chat.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
keeping an eye on it.
would a Garmin InReach work in place of a phone backpack in case of emergency? A bit pricey, but peace of mind. So I will tell you, we have Garmin InReaches. They are a little bit pricey. They work very well. They were. I was trying to find an alternative in case of there was an earthquake and you
Yeah,
didn't have cell towers. Like, how do we get a hold of people? Um, and the Garmin InReach is great because you can send messages via SMS. You can send them so you send them to a phone. You can send them to an email.
yeah.
And so we actually have like our account passwords are with our out of state contact. And so if that were to happen, we would email them or text them and say, hey, change our accounts to unlimited. Because right now they're at like the lowest level. So it's like $12 a month or something to just keep
Okay,
them active. And you get like 20 messages, I think, a month. But then you can ratchet it up and you can go unlimited. So every adult in our kind of immediate family, the three kind of families around, has one of those InReaches so that we could coordinate with ourselves and then we can communicate with other people.
yeah. I think that'd be a yeah. I looked into that one point, and it maybe if we're talking, what you said, $13 a month, I think for
Yeah, because I was trying to find something like if you want a sat phone, what I ran into is if you want a sat phone,
yes.
the phones are like between $500 and $700 at the
Yeah, well,
top.
I think we've all looked into those at one
Yeah,
point.
and the plans, like the lowest plan you could get was like $60 a month,
Yeah,
and it was for a certain number of minutes, but you couldn't change anything unless you had an active plan,
yeah,
and so you
yeah.
had to at least have that in order to try to do anything else in the future.
Yeah, I looked into it at one point too, and it didn't make sense cost wise. But I do think that the InReach, Amy is. I've looked into it in the past. For about it was like 300, a little over $300, and then
Yeah,
for the big for it makes sense if you have like you want to get in touch with your mom or whatever, and you don't want to have her get her technician's license or something like that. I think it does make
yeah,
sense if it because I don't know, I spend that on Netflix or on Disney Plus or on my Dropbox monthly or there's so I think
yeah.
I think it's if maybe for a small network of folks.
So and they have a couple of different versions. So we got the at the time what was the higher end version because it had an actual GPS like maps and things like that, and
Yeah.
then it also had the connector. Costco was selling the kind of the mid tier one that didn't have a map necessarily. It had like the GPS stuff, but you couldn't like load other maps and things into it. And it had the communication. It was about $100 less. And so I don't remember if we have a mix of the two or if we all just got the one that you could kind of use for everything. Because then we were like, okay, at least we can use the GPS. We may not use the messaging ever, but we can at least use it. It has some function for us.
Yeah.
But they have like a spot, which is like it turns your phone into a satellite connection. And so you can like, if you have the app on your phone, you can kind of text. So I've looked into maybe switching out and doing like that sort of a model. But then you need your phone to be charged.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was Amy saying that she wanted maybe for the kids when they can't have their phones. But I'm just thinking for like grid down type things. But if you're doing the $13 a month one and then there's some emergency that happens, I imagine you won't be able to upgrade at that time. Hey, can I switch over to the unlimited?
Yeah, and that's why we have the out of state contact because in an emergency, like okay, fine, we're gonna burn through some messages, like that's fine. But for a longer term, for a couple of weeks or something, if there's no cell service or whatever, we could then have somebody else who has internet access go in and change our plan to the unlimited, and then we can just use it wherever. For the kids, it's a similar problem in that like they could have it in their lockers, but they still can't have it with them. So our son will have his phone. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. Our daughter, I'm just going to have to get used to like the anxiety of knowing that she doesn't have everything that I would like her to have on her. But we'll see.
I'm gonna look into a little bit more. I like the idea for like out of state, like break glass in case of emergency type. Thing that your random relative like could have. I think that's a good idea.
Well, and also you can do like they're like $300 and $350 or something for the thing, but they sell them all over the place. So I love my discounted gift cards, as we all know. I love my Rakuten cash back things. Like you can get them at Cabela's. You can get them. I think Macy's was selling them at one point.
Yeah. So each person has to have their monthly fee that they're doing.
Each unit has to have a monthly subscription.
Okay, so everyone's spending about $13 or whatever it is.
Exactly. Yes, and so but the out of state person doesn't need to because they're just using their phone or email.
Yeah.
So they don't need to have this subscription. It's just the actual devices, and the devices can talk to each other.
Yeah.
So you can, with some of the other ones, you can only communicate out. So you could send an email to somebody, but you couldn't talk to another device. With these, they have their own like email addresses and IDs. So we like pre-program those into each of the devices. So when you power it up, I can email my dad's, I can email my brothers, they can email us, they can email their out of state like whatever they want to do. So like we have our own little network.
Okay, I like it. I think it's great.
But yeah. All right. So so Garmin. Pig Slice said a lot of the channels have gone on summer break. We would know nothing about that. We would know nothing about going on summer break. We're here always, all the time for everyone.
Yeah, I imagine that eventually, like as we're as the YouTube prepper, we keep adapting and the channels are getting bigger and bigger. I think at some point, like they're gonna. I know some people just want to do daily content because the algorithms like it, but I could see that the prepper movement starts going to like seasons and stuff, or like it's like season 20, where they just have these batch of videos that come out and then they have like quiet times like summer break. So.
Yeah. So uptick in UK related prepping.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Concerns. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, especially in Europe. You see an uptick in. I think there is a reaction. There is a natural reaction for more people to get interested when there is a thing happening. So like hurricane is happening, wildfire season, all that, and more people make videos about it, but then aren't consistent or continue. So you'll get like 30 people who decide, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel because this is happening, or my personal TikTok, I made a video and it popped off and now it's in the prepping world.
Yeah,
But
they're
really,
chasing the algorithm, and
yeah,
I always felt that it feels like ambulance chasing to me, which I never.
and that's why we don't have teams.
Yes,
That's why we don't
that's
have
why we're solo
subscribers. Yeah,
operations. Here.
exactly. All you get is us and our personalities. That's all you get. That's what happens. Let's see what else. Yeah, most prepping channels are either buying stuff or doom news.
Doom news.
Yeah. I think another thing too that's interesting is, and there were a couple of things that I got like approached about, I think, to test out.
Yeah.
Some of them I didn't make videos about because I wasn't interested. I didn't see any need to do them. Like, you're like, okay, I don't want to do that. Yeah. There were a couple that I was like, okay, this is just interesting, and I think people would be like the survival vest thing. Like, I don't know that I would have picked it, but it was an interesting idea, and it was worth at least going through it. I think a lot of people make videos simply because somebody said, hey, we'll give you a free flashlight if you make a video, and people like free stuff.
For sure. So
yeah,
it's all money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think you and I, when we make gear reviews, when we do that, like, usually we buy the thing. It's the thing that we like. It's what we're using for whatever reason. We don't usually make gear videos that are like, oh, hey, somebody gave us a free thing, and so we'll make a video completely about that.
Yeah. Yeah. It usually in the comment section very early on, I felt I had more integrity if I said that I bought this with my own money than if I got it for free.
Yeah.
So even if I did get it for free, then I usually would give that one away and then buy it again with my money, just to avoid those kind of comments. So,
yeah. Yeah.
But maybe not everyone feels that. I know there's a whole YouTube channel operation where people get gear, they do the video, and then they flip it on eBay and make that money too. So yeah.
A different area. Like, look, I'm not going to say that I don't think it's a brilliant idea, but like, I had not thought, there are certain things like I just, my brain doesn't necessarily click in that pattern to do it. Yeah. Like, I totally get people getting stuff because it's free, or making a video because they want the free thing or whatever. Like, I get the influencer marketing piece of it. But then to take the thing and then flip it on eBay, I'm always like, I don't think you could. I don't think that's allowed. That's not?
Well, it's used gear, used flashlight.
Yeah,
only used once.
Well, oh, by the way, we've talked about the prepper garage sale idea.
Yes.
So I actually sold some things.
You did
this summer, yes. While my wife was grieving, I took the opportunity to sell some things to try to cheer her up. I feel like that's what I told her. I was like, while you were gone, I got rid of some things. Look, I cleared out a shelf on the garage for you, which she appreciated. But we are no longer the proud owners of the Camp Chef oven.
Okay. For
camping, that went away. Very, very cool thing, but also takes up a ton of space in the garage. Yeah. Super heavy. And unless you're using it a lot, it just is a kind of a waste.
Yeah, I still need to have my prepper garage sale. I have like, I'm looking at them right now. I have 3 bins that are ready for the taking, and then I have a bunch of cast iron cookware that I thought I wanted for my cooking module, and then I got a little too much, I think. So I'm not using them, and I think another prepper would find use with it. So but it's also like, how do you promote an in-person prepper garage sale? I don't want. Yeah. Anyway, it'd be fun.
You know what you do? It's a camping sale.
Oh, now we're talking.
See, I've seen some camping sales.
Because otherwise, I get a bunch of guys in camo and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You also don't want anybody to know that you have other prepping. You're getting rid of this because you have plenty and you don't need it anymore.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club. You don't want to talk.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
But yeah, so I've seen people market their camping garage sales where it's tents and sleeping bags and backpacks and all that sort of stuff. So maybe that's a way to do it. I got rid of one of my backpacks because I was like, it was in a different color than all the other ones. I didn't need it. I wasn't going to use it anymore. It was still brand new with the tags on too, which was
I have a few of those too.
Super annoying. I was like, can't I just take this back to 511? Like, wouldn't they? And no, they after like 3 years, they won't let you take back a thing that still has tags on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I have a
but
few. I'm looking at them right now. A few little bags that they need new homes. So
yeah. Oh, Pony Girl says Survival Dispatch is still making videos.
cool, great.
So that's very, very exciting for them. Let's see what. There's lots of chatting going on. I'm
Yeah,
glad
we received 100 messages in the chat. That's good.
that's fantastic. Got a GMRS radio. Sent the money for the license, but never got that. Maybe I need to give the SEC a yell and also get walkies.
I have a few radios and antennas to get rid of too. They're in the case. They're everything. It's just I need to trim
Yeah.
some stuff down.
Well, and GMRS for a while didn't need. I don't remember if it's that it needed a license and then it switched where you didn't need a license, or it used to be that you didn't need a license and now you do need a license. It's not like a test like a ham radio thing. It's like you send in a check and then like, or you go online, it's like $10 or something. Like it's not like it's not like getting your ham license or something like that. And I don't know who would be tracking that or anything, because they're in kind of they're like the Motorola radios or whatever. Trying to think of the name of the Midland makes a version of it.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of look on those. They just look like standard radios. You don't even need to prove that you have a license or anything like that. But they just go farther. Yeah. They're higher powered.
Yeah.
Let's
see what else. No test requires a license, $35. I think we've gone through a lot of them.
Yeah,
there's a lot of just conversation happening, which is that's what the
air fryers and toasters we're talking about.
I've been thinking of bringing an air fryer to work, but that's not. I know that's not prepping.
Oh, so what are you going to make cookies with when camping? That is a fantastic question. I'm so glad you asked. I'm not. Yeah. I took it intentionally. I was like, oh, we're gonna make chocolate chip cookies. We're gonna make chocolate chip cookies and nachos. This is gonna be fantastic. If it was the only oven thing that existed because we were grid down and everything else, like, yes, you could bake things in it, and it did make chocolate chip cookies. I don't remember how long it took. It took, I think, a lot longer than like if you were just making them, obviously, in a conventional oven. It's a smaller unit, so you're not making as many of them. But it is a gigantic, relatively speaking, it is a very large piece of equipment when you're thinking about camping things. It's got like a 2-burner camp stove on top of it, which is convenient. You don't have to take 2 different things. You could just take this one thing and it would have like a range and an oven. The person we sold it to actually they had like a trailer or camper thing, and they were going to be driving around visiting some sick friends for a while. And so they wanted to have an oven and not heat up their RV. So they were going to be using it a lot and using it for that. So that would be great. It's up a good portion of a shelf, like in our garage, and it's super heavy. So getting it up and down, it was not a thing.
Yeah, we did some little, it wasn't with cookies, but we did like brownies and like a kind of solar oven and some other things with the Cub Scouts. But yeah, I don't think I don't make cookies when camping. So.
Yeah. Also, we're
actually, I just buy pre-made. I mean, why do you have to make it there? Like,
there you go. Hello, Costco. Can we have cookies?
Yeah,
that's how we do it. All right. Well, I think we're coming up on like almost an hour. I think
we did pretty good. And the next time, I think it's Tuesday, right? We're exploring all the different days of the week.
Yeah, exactly. It's a short rest week. We'll be back. I think it's on Tuesday. Maybe we'll do a little show and tell.
I'll bring some stuff.
All right, we'll bring some stuff, and we'll do that. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks for not forgetting about us. We didn't forget about you. We just couldn't make it work. But we're here now. We're back. We're 93. We're gonna hit 100. I don't know. We need to start. You know what we need to do? We need to start thinking about what we want to do for 100.
Maybe an in-person one would be kind of cool. Huh?
Oh, okay. All right. I like that idea. I was thinking we need. I'm going back and forth on if we want guests or not, because there is a part that's like, oh, it could be like 100th episode special guest thing, but also like it should be like 100 episode, like it's us because we've been doing it for 100 episodes.
I like if we can make it in person, I think that'd be pretty
All
cool.
right. We'll work on that. We'll get our people on it. We'll make it happen. In the meantime, thanks everybody for joining us. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share it with your friends, blah, blah, blah. Let everybody know that we're back. And we will see you guys next week.